Testing, 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 testing. Okay, Chapter 3 Summary. The summary is presented with the information waveform wave generated the information file with the sum of the important parts of the chapter waveform, which undergo the pattern change with the return of the original position, original pattern repeats the sum of the pattern change with this called periodic waveform. Each completed pattern waveform is a cycle, show the sin wave and the square wave, and then identify with the two alteration equal in time with the square, and appearance with one alteration is called the pulse. The time with the over one complete cycle is called the pulse. Repetition time with the number of the times in one cycle. The cycle will repeat itself with the called the pulse. Repetition rate, pulse repetition frequency, or pulse repetition frequency. The length of the pulse measured with the figure of the time interval, time 0 to 1, is referred to as the pulse width. The length side of the pulse is referred to as the leading edge, and the right side of it is called the trailing edge. The rectangular wave has two alterations unequal in time. Sawtooth has linear increase of the voltage followed by the rapid decrease of the voltage at the end of the waveform. Sawtooth wave. Trapezoidal wave looks like a sawtooth and was wave sitting on top of the square wave leading, and the edge is called the jump voltage. Trapezoidal waveform. Trigger is very narrow. Pulse turn on and off in another circuit. Alright, multiple vibrator, you the generate square and rectangular wave, the multiple vibrator because the two amplifiers ready generated feedback. It's stable to multiple vibrator is no stable state, but the transistor alternately switch with the cutoff of the saturation frequency determined the RC time constant of the coupling circuits. Show that the amount stable the multi-vibrator has one stable state with the transistor protected while the other is cut off with the external circuit. It must be applied with the change of this condition. The biostable multivibrator has two steady state, but remains one with the stable state with the trigger that is applied with the switch for the other stable state until the other trigger is applied. The biostable multivibrator is known as the flip-flop. The two inputs of the set and clear for the two outputs of 1 and 0 with the trigger pulse for the set and one output of negative positive voltage dependent on the set of the type. On the type of the transistor, you at the same time the 0 output will equal 0 volts. This is set state. Input trigger pulse 0 to overhead voltage or 0 volts. Clear state with the flip-flop exists for the amperage of the output with the increase of the low voltage of the 0 volt for the output with the high voltage flip-flop of the clear state with the upon the application of the triggered pulse of the clear NC of the clear input. Trigger pulse is 0 volts F over F flip-flop. The third lead on the sum of the flip-flop lead with the toggle with the T input with the either time of the trigger is pulse with the apply with the T input with the flip-flop will change the states. Blocking oscillator. Are you the application of the required narrow pulse, the sharpness, leading and trailing edge of the U for the trigger generated the frequency divider. Sawtooth generators. Voltage waveform, linear changes. Voltage of fast recovered time and linear change. Voltage generated taking output from the capacitor of the sawtooth voltage waveform is used to provide electrostatic deflection of the oscillopes. Trapezoidal generator, the voltage waveform, and U that provide linear increase of the current with the coil of the trapezoidal waveform to give it the step of the jump of the voltage sawtooth wave and then transistor trapezoidal wave voltage that U with the ultramatic deflection display device. And that was chapter 3 summary.